tonight, driving them crazy.
Not one of the people that has a car in their garage right now did anything illegal. The list kept changing.
Many Canadians could be enjoying new, cheaper cars purchased in the U.S., but their hopes are parked. What's going on? Scientific breakthrough. Stem cell research goes to a whole new level. Major mobilization. Police, the Army, and the Navy get into the Grey Cup spirit. And the data game.
It is, in some ways, Orwellian.
What political parties know about you.
Their religion, their age, their income.
And that's not all.
You start just with the electoral list, right, the voters list.
Keith Bogue on how the parties collect your bits and bytes and why.
The National. Here is Peter Mansbridge.
Good evening. Serious consequences of a high Canadian dollar are emerging tonight. Combine the strong loonie with lower prices available in the United States, and you've got mass migration out of this country's automobile market. Transport Canada says last month alone, 24,000 vehicles were purchased in the U.S. and brought into Canada. That's double the number from October of 2006. But some of those Canadian buyers are facing a problem. As Havard Gould reports, they're proud new owners of vehicles that can't actually go anywhere.
Ron Brower's new Cadillac has traveled far. He bought it from a dealer in Texas, saving $30,000, and was allowed to bring it into Canada. But now it's parked in his driveway, in legal limbo.
It's really been a nightmare for me.
Robert Lamb's new Honda isn't moving either. He, too, bought a bargain in the U.S. and can't legally put it on the road. Lamb is now heading up a protest group, representing, he says, dozens of Canadians who have new cars they cannot drive.
Not one of the people that has a car in their garage right now did anything illegal. I mean, they followed the rules, they checked the lists. The list kept changing.
This is the list of new vehicles being sold in the U.S. that can be brought into Canada. And it has been changing in recent weeks as a new Canadian regulation for anti-theft devices has been rolled out.
It's nothing more than a runaround.
Many are blaming Transport Canada, saying the federal government and bureaucracy are to blame here. But there are also critics who say something else is at work here. The key, that regulation requiring anti-theft devices. Oddly, the onus is on manufacturers to declare that the devices in their U.S. cars meet Canadian standards. And they appear to have no incentive to do so. Henry Jarofsky is a lawyer already suing car manufacturers over their pricing policies. He says some manufacturers are using the import list to stop cross-border car shopping.
This is just one more instrument or tool in their toolbox for restricting access to the U.S. market. So Canadian consumers are hindered from purchasing cars from the United States.
Auto manufacturers say Transport Canada is responsible, pointing out they have long lobbied to have American and Canadian technical standards harmonized, which would let vehicles flow freely across the border. With the political heat rising today, the federal minister responsible hinted that some way will be found to put cars already in Canada on the road.
But I do want to reassure Canadians that have purchased these vehicles that we are working on it, and we will do the necessary due diligence to correct the issue.
But for the moment, Robert Lamb and an unknown number of other Canadians are stuck with cars that are bargains going nowhere. Havard Gould, CBC News, Toronto.